Well, good morning. Good morning. If you have your Bible, you can open it to Exodus. The book of Exodus, chapter 19, and we'll kind of walk through a text. It's the closest text that I could find to express something the Lord gave me earlier this week. And if you're in the title, this sermon is titled Peace, the Practice of God's Presence. And I remember my dad's a pastor. I grew up in church my entire life. And, but that, you know, I would always fill this out every Sunday. And I don't, do y'all know what this is? An offering envelope, and it says you're present, your Bible's brought, your Bible's read daily, your lessons studied, giving and worship attendance. Do I? Yes, sir, that's right. And that was how I lived my life for 16 years. And I never understood that, and I tried to read my Bible, not for the purpose of reading my Bible. I had to check the box. And when I was 16, I discovered something, and that was Jesus. And there was something that I got that I had never experienced before. And it was peace. But I found that peace is just not always with me. I don't know if you've ever experienced that. Maybe your life gets a little hectic. But I found that peace is also not often, it's not very far from me. And so it is a practice that you have to practice. Peace is. And the closest scripture that I've come to help you understand my thinking on that is Exodus chapter 19, actually when God shows up. And you have to forgive me because, you know, if you want background references for this, because there's about 100 scriptures that I could throw at you, and you only gave me 10 minutes. So, Psalm 2, Psalm 46, 10, Exodus 19, 10 through 11, 16 to 20, just to name a few. And so I'm in Exodus, and my tongue has to keep up with my brain. And we'll start in verse 10. And let me get my old eyes working here. And the Lord told Moses, go to the people and consecrate them today and tomorrow. They must wash their clothes and be prepared by the third day. For on the third day, the Lord will come down on Mount Sinai in the sight of all the people. Then let's jump to it in verse 16. It says, on the third day, when morning came, there was thunder and lightning, a thick cloud on the mountain, and a loud trumpet sound, so that all the people in the camp shuddered. Then Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God. I want to stop right there. I don't want you to read that. I want you to see it. Did you see what he just said? All the people were in the tents, and Moses brought them out so they could meet God. And so what did God look like? Well, he looked like a big burning chimney on top of a mountain, with thunder and lightning and all sorts of things. I want you to see that in your brain, because this gets really cool really fast. Because you have two types of people here. There's only one guy that's really comfortable with this, and that's Moses. And there's a reason. Okay? So where are they going? Verse 17. Then Moses brought the people out of the camp to meet God, and they stood at the foot of the mountain. Mount Sinai was completely enveloped in smoke because the Lord came down on it. Its smoke went up like the smoke from a furnace, and the whole mountain shook violently. As the sound of the trumpet grew louder and louder, Moses spoke, and God answered him in thunder. That would have been so cool to see. Probably would have freaked everybody out, like it did. So the Lord came down, verse 20, on Mount Sinai, at the top of the mountain. Then the Lord summoned Moses to the top of the mountain. And he went up. Now no one was allowed to touch the mountain. No one was allowed to be near the mountain. And God said, hey Moses, come here. And so Moses went into the deep, thick darkness of the smoke where God was. First time I read that passage, I said, Lord, I don't want to be like the people at the foot of the mountain. I want to be able to walk into the fire where you are. And in that place is a place that it looks very intimidating and very crazy, but that is the only place where peace is. And peace is a practice, and so I'm not going to walk back through the text for the sake of time, but you can meditate on this later. But a few things. Peace is found in God's presence. So we must place ourselves in a position of God's presence. We must place ourselves in a position of God's presence. I find this is where people most of the time never find peace because of this first point. They never get past the first thing. And it's real simple. It requires, number one, our pursuit of Him. The first time that I asked my wife to breakfast, she said no. To her friends, she called me a geek. It's not funny, Ben. There was a pursuit there. The Bible purposely says that God is a jealous God. The Bible purposely identifies a relationship between God and man, between a man and a woman. God likes to be pursued. There are mornings when the Lord's like, hands on me. And He wants me to pursue Him and to seek Him. Which means, the second part of that is, I have to cease all other pursuits. See, when you get up in the morning, you have your routine, right? But God wants to know that in the midst of your day, in the midst of your job, in the midst of your school, in the midst of your stuff, that He will stop everything you're doing for Him. Not for His will, not for what you need to know for the day. No. Just to sit down in His lap was all. Thirdly, I skipped something. There has to be a confession and a claim. Remember, He told the people, you've got to consecrate yourselves for 2 days. Because the third day, God's showing up. There has to be a confession and cleansing from all things that would keep us from Him or distracted from Him. So most of the time we think, well, I've got to confess all my sins. It's not just that. There is a confession and removal of sin, but then there's a removal from everything that would distract you from Him. And so on the third day, God shows up. And we have to allow God's fullness into our lives. Imagine if you walked up to a mountain, basically like a volcano exploding, and then someone says, hey, let's go get a closer look. That makes total sense, right? And most of them are like, hey, man, why don't y'all come meet God? And they've already been told, if you touch the mountain, you're going to be killed. And they've got all these things. And God's like, come on, guys, let's go. It's going to be great. We have to allow God's fullness in our lives. We do this by, number one, emptying ourselves of everything that we know. Everybody knew that mountain was shaking, there was smoke, there was all this stuff. That's what we understand. When we come to God, we come to God with our stuff. We come to God with our understanding of how things have gone. You know, if I step in the fire, I'll burn up, right? Did you notice that Moses didn't think that way, did he? See, our thinking's messed up. It says that in the scripture. It says, you were taught regards to the old way of life. You take it off like a coat, and you change the way you think, and then you put on new self-prayer to be like God. And true righteous, well, I can't be like God. Well, you didn't know what the scripture said? Yeah, that's changed the way you think. What's the quickest way to serve? Walk across turning and pointing on the water. That's the way God thinks. Right? Empty ourselves, surrender ourselves to Him anew, His purposes, His will for our lives, not what we think. And how do we do that? The biggest test, ready? Time. Time. I mean literal. I'm not saying figurative. I'm going to spend 5 minutes alone with the Lord. But what if the Lord wants 6? What if the Lord wants you to devote an entire day that you have scheduled to Him? Are you willing to give it? Well, the Lord wouldn't ask me that. Oh, I have a wife and 2 daughters. Do you think that my wife cares about what I think about a football game or other things? If she wants my attention, she demands it. If my daughters want my attention, they come and sit on my lap, regardless of what I'm doing. My attention is demanded. And these are just simple things to remind us that there's a God that demands our attention. He longs for it. He has revealed Himself in everything that you've seen this week, and even more so in the people that we minister to every day. He's demanding our attention. Do you see it at the bars? And all the kids that are just sitting there waiting? Do you just see kids that are hungry for attention? Do you see God beckoning us, join me? Do you see my image? Love me. Care for me. The experience of His peace. Peace, best way I can explain it is it's the character of God manifesting itself in you. That's the best way I know how to say it. It's the complete fullness of God as demonstrated by the power of the Holy Spirit and the fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. That fully manifesting itself in you to where that when that happens, I don't know how to explain it. It's not a feeling. It's bigger than that. And it's just like, pooh! You can't explain it. It happened that night. I'd prayed that prayer before. I hadn't been in church my whole life. But all of a sudden, the fullness of the Spirit came over me. I didn't speak in tongues. I didn't do all these things. What had happened to me was greater than that. It's just everything of Reagan just moved out. The fullness of God came in. Oh, this is what it was supposed to be like. There was not supposed to be any separation. There was not supposed to be any death. There was not supposed to be a day where Reagan went and did his own thing and God was sitting over there. It was supposed to be me and God all the time. And that's the practice of peace. It's what the patriarchs and the ancients called walking with God. And it's not in a service. It's not in any of those times. It's in the moments when we stop. When we sanctify ourselves to God in it. We fully commit ourselves to Him, empty ourselves of our own pursuits, and look at Jesus and say, Lord, I love you. And if you just want to spend the whole day together, that's great. I'll stop everything I'm doing for you. I remember when I was in college, I was like, Lord, show me your will, show me your will. And all God kept doing was pulling me closer to Himself. And I finally realized what He's trying to say, Reagan, if you're sitting in my presence, you'll always be in my will. And when I'm ready for you to do something, I'll tell you. But you just sit here. You know, God calls us to lead sometimes. I lead a lot of things. I wear a lot of hats. But sometimes it's so good to follow. It was so nice being the second man today. And not having to direct people or tell people what to do, but to just sit back and just be led. and how God longs to come into your life and say, hey man, be right here. Let me lead. Trust me. And when you do that, I can't explain it to you. I wish I could just take a little what I got right now and just give it to you. But it's something that you have to come to experience when you fully commit and surrender and yield yourself to Him. The peace of God. It's a practice. Let's pray together. Father, thank you that you are not a God from a distance. That you died on the cross and resurrected from the dead so that you could be in us. And that we could experience you fully. And know you, even as we are known. Help us to practice walking with you. Lord, I pray that you would give us the spirit of revelation and wisdom, that we would know you better. That today, Lord, each of us in this room, that you would draw us closer to yourself. That we would know your voice. That we would know your presence. That our intimacy with you would grow. That we would know you as Father. That we would love you more than we love anybody. I ask that you would do these things in Jesus' name. Amen.